So, what's up with the South Florida condo market, you may be asking? Well, there's a lot going on. So, let's get to it. I'm Michelle Belisari. I'm a realtor here in South Florida, and we're going to talk about what's going on in this condo market. Now, today, as I record this, is the tragic anniversary of Surfside and the condo collapse that happened there. And one of the things that's going on in South Florida and the condo market is all the new laws and whatnot that were put into play due to that. And our thoughts and prayers are always for the families and loved ones um, from that terrible, terrible day. So let's talk what we know. Okay. First of all, lots of condos on the market. If you're following any news outlets or someone who I really like, which is Condo Vultures, you're going to see that closed sales are down for condos. High end is typically better than the median lower price points. And obviously, there's a lot going on. So I am going to look at some of my notes so I don't miss anything. And just so you know, I'm not an attorney, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a contractor. So I am a realtor here in Boca Raton. I serve Broward and Palm Beach counties. And, we talk about real estate all day long with a lot of different people, from attorneys to other realtors across the country and in our area. So I just know that there are so many questions about what's going on. So, first and foremost, new laws that changed everything. After Surfside, the state of Florida passed a condo safety legislation, which it needed to be done, by the way. So, there's milestone inspections that need to be done and structural integrity reserve studies. Now, I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of all that. You can Google all of the details, but basically, all these condos had to get up to snuff, because the biggest issue that we can take away from Surfside is the deferred maintenance on that building is one of the big problems that happened there. Older buildings, which we have a lot of, we have a lot of older condo buildings up and down the coastline, especially those that are over 30, 40, 50 years of age. They have some really tough standards that they have to meet now. So, what has happened? Okay, one, in 2022, interest rates started to go up. Okay. So affordability became a little more challenging for some people. Many of the buildings were hit with large assessments. And I'm not saying like $1,000 type of assessment. We're looking at 10, 20, 30. You can Google in the news, 80,000 plus assessments, if not more. And those are massive, especially if you are retired or maybe you're on a fixed income. That's a lot of money. And unless your board and building are taking out a loan to help everybody out, this is a big conversation that's happening. So, years of deferred maintenance. I can tell you condos I've gone into over the many years, the buildings in particular, cracks in the walls, paint chipping. You can see the rebar. I mean, it's just messy. And so this is a huge problem. And the thing of it is, once your board, agrees on the fees and whatnot, they're locked into a contract to get things started. Okay. So that's a big issue. Also, elevators that need to be replaced, bringing things up to fire code, hurricanes, all that. Because hurricane season here in South Florida and the state of Florida is June 1st to November 30th. Okay. So just keep that in mind. The other thing is, a lot of these buildings maintenance fees, the monthly maintenance, the paying of the cable and pool maintenance and all the things, right? Insurance for the building. The boards have not kept up with that. So what's happened is you could have these condos sitting there and have $350 a month, $400 a month, right, for maintenance. That's not happening anymore. I was dealing with a one unit back in Pompano Beach a year ago. And on that alone, the maintenance fee was like in the mid 700s, like 750 or something like that for one with a very tiny water view, just an FYI. So maintenance fees are rising to cover reserves. And that was the other side of the coin, is this buildings that don't have reserves to cover repairs. And it's no different. Like when people move here, right? You buy a condo. Remember, you're splitting the cost of everything with other people who have condos. The biggest issue is people move into a condo and they forget that there's bigger items that come up, just like a house. So then they don't want to vote on these maintenance issues and whatnot. Well, those days are done. So a lot of times the maintenance fee, if you're getting a loan as well, like maybe you're getting a conventional mortgage, right? With a building that will allow it, your monthly maintenance fee could actually be more than your monthly mortgage. Just saying. So you really have to do your research if you're thinking of buying a condo, especially down here right now. And you're going to see this up and down the coastlines wherever you are, like in the United States for sure, or on the water, because the salty air, the erosion that happens, it's huge. So HOA and boards, well, condo associations. Well, one of the issues that happens is that the boards aren't always on the up and up. I'm not saying that they're all like that, but some are. They don't act for the greater good of the entire building. People have personal axes to grind. I've been in many buildings, like I said, where things have been downplayed. And the other thing is, think of a condo community as high school, right? You're living in your high school and you're friends with everybody, and then something major happens and you have to choose like which side you're going to be on. And that happens in condos. And I don't think it gets talked enough about that bullying happens at these communities and these condos, whether they're 55 plus or not. And, you know, your social life is where you live in these condos. And so it becomes a sticky wicket, as I like to say. So you have to be prepared to really focus on the safety issues of your building. So let's talk about what's going on in the real estate market. Well, what I can tell you right now is the market has certainly shifted over the last couple of years. We are really more so in a buyer's market than a seller's market. So what does that mean to you if you're selling? You're going to have to come out of the gate with really good pricing. You have a lot of competition. I don't even know the numbers. The last time I read something, it was like 18,000 condo units on the market, and that's throughout South Florida. So that could be your $70,000 unit in a 55 plus community up to luxury in Miami and Palm Beach and whatnot. But here's what you're going to have to be prepared for is that buyers are going to do their due diligence. You're going to have to disclose a lot of things, including what's been done to the building. And just know that it's going to take time for your unit typically to sell because there's so much competition out there. And as of this recording, we're in summer. So it usually slows down a little bit in the summer, but it starts to tick up for sure after Labor Day because people are looking to potentially move here, relocate here, retire here, etc. Are there deals out there? Absolutely. But do your due diligence. Can I say that multiple times? Do your due diligence, especially in older buildings. Check and see if the last 12 months they've had conversations about new assessments and other assessments that may be coming down the pike. Anything that's been talked about regarding assessments, even if they don't know exactly specifically what for. If you're on the buyer side. So just know on the selling side, it's really more of a buyer's market. On the buyer side, you could probably get something far less than you would have a few years ago. But you just have to be smart on both sides of the coin. So if you are thinking of retiring here, relocating here, maybe you want a little winter getaway, I would love to talk to you. I've been a 45 plus year resident of South Florida. I'm based in Boca Raton, but I work all over South Florida. And I specifically focus on a couple of niches too, just so you know, if you have a parent that is downsizing, maybe you're downsizing or right sizing, however you prefer to call it, perhaps you have inherited a property, whether it's a condo or not. I am a certified probate specialist, and I have my SRES, which is senior real estate specialist. So I would be happy to educate you a little bit on what's going on, give you my thoughts and timelines, and a CMA, which is our comp report to show you what's going on. And, you know, let's remember to be safe out there, and thinking of the Surfside folks today. And wow, I can't believe it's been like 4 years. That's a long time. I look forward to seeing you more on my channel. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and look at some of my other videos. I've done some on probate, hiring a probate attorney, how to increase your value of your home if you've inherited it. Are you downsizing? What steps do you need to take? So check out some of my other videos and come back, and I'll have more for you. Have a great day.